Hello, welcome inside Beaver Insider Live. Brian Hench and Chloe Peterson here with you. I was really excited because I thought I was done seeing Chloe for a few days, but here we are again, getting ready to talk.
Ooh.
I would just like to open up, Chloe, before we turn it over to you and let you cook. I would just like to put up this comment. I think it sets the tone in a very good way. Hey, guys, have fun. Everyone is being super chill about this. Chloe, you have the reporting. I will let you tell the folks what is new.
Yes, well, I know there's been conflicting reporting on this. But I will say what I know, what, my people have been telling me. So I saw, obviously, Scott Agness first reported on this. I saw that. I called up some people and they said, they kind of started out with, I feel like I know what you're calling about. And I was like, you probably do know what I'm calling about. And, obviously they confirmed she has, a very mild, what they said was a quote, very mild bone bruise in her left ankle. And what they really wanted to stress to me was that, this does not affect any potential return to play timeline for, the right groin injury. It's not, it does not set her back in any way more than the right groin injury has. That doesn't mean she technically has a return timeline from the right groin injury. It just means this, left ankle bone bruise does not affect her return or her potential return whenever that ends up being from the right groin injury.
It's not going to hold her back from coming back to the floor.
Yes. So,
what do you make of all this? Let's cut straight to it, because I think that's probably what people want to know. I want to know personally. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. What's your read on all this?
I mean, kind of what I've heard about it in, the past 30 minutes is it's been characterized to me as, tweaking your ankle, as, basketball players do all the time. Sorry. My cat's trying to eat plastic.
I'm now cat.
But so it's like tweaking your ankle. Obviously, that's something, Caitlin Clark did last year. She left the game briefly in last May 2024, when she rolled her ankle, came back, played the game. Same thing happened. Same thing happened in August of last year, where, she tweaked her ankle, got it taped up, came back. And what it has been characterized to me is something, similar in, seriousness to that. It's obviously something you have to work through, but not really much that, affects your play in a way. Like, obviously, Sophie Cunningham had a bad ankle sprain earlier this season, and she came back with, with a brace on her right ankle. So that sprain was a little bit more serious than what I am being told, Caitlin's is. But, how it's been characterized to me is something that, you tweak your ankle, you roll your ankle like players do in a game.
Yeah. So just to reiterate everything for those just hopping in, people continue popping in. Caitlin Clark tweaked her right ankle while working back from a right groin injury. Sources confirmed to Chloe. Fieldhouse Bowles is the first to report it. Per Chloe's sources, it was a very mild bone bruise she got while doing an individual workout on August 7th, which, of course, is a day that lived with him in infamy, with it also being the day that Sydney Colson and Erin McDonald both went down with their season-ending injuries. The important thing here is that, per Chloe's sources, is that it's not considered a setback, and that it's not impacting any potential return to play timeline. That does not mean a timeline has been set, to be clear. I know that the verbiage, like Chloe said, can get a little muddled. It just means that, and Chloe, if I'm wrong, correct me, that it's not going to be the reason why she's not playing this ankle injury. It's a bump in the road, so to speak, and it's just something they have to navigate.
Yeah, and it's also, I would like to make clear, this injury, this left ankle thing, did not stem from when Brianne January stepped on Caitlin's foot on the sideline. That was, I'm trying to figure out the correct date. I believe it was August 9th when, Briann January accidentally stepped on her foot on the sideline. That is not the injury. She suffered the injury during an individual workout. So those two things are not related.
What do you make of the timing and all this?
My thought is they probably didn't think it was a big deal, so they didn't think of it as something to like release or, make public in a way, especially, if it doesn't affect her return to play from the right groin injury. Like, I'd assume, Steph White or, the Fever organization didn't see the point in, blowing up all this hullabaloo with something that doesn't necessarily,
If she were to stub her toe coming down the stairs, it wouldn't be worth the release, so to speak.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
jam her finger or get a paper cut.
Yes.
Not to downplay or be a smartass, but that's kind of your read, though, is that it's just insignificant.
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
Just insignificant, I guess.
Yeah, that's my read on it, is that, the organization considered it insignificant enough. If it doesn't, what I've been told is, even without this ankle injury, like in a world, it did not happen. Everything else is the same. She would still be out rehabbing this right groin injury.
Yeah.
So, my guess is they didn't deem it something, significant enough to, do a release on or talk about. And that's just my thoughts.
And the reason that somebody asked why they would communicate about it today, well, they to us at the Indy Star, to Chloe specifically, it's because she asked about it. I don't want to speak for Scott or anything. I'm sure you don't either, as to why. But I mean, that explains, at least from the team perspective, from what Chloe knows. I think that makes a lot of sense, and just it didn't rise to the level of that. People also talking about ticket sales. That's something we talked about a little bit during the earlier show. I feel like those tickets have been sold already. And so they've already made their money, so I don't know. Who is they? Yes, Scott Agnes was the one who reported it first, as Chloe noted in her story, as is credited on Twitter and everywhere else. Chloe, anything else you want to get off your chest? Anything else you want to talk about on this or in general that we missed on the first show that went like an hour?
I don't think so. I think I'm all good.
I think that covers it. We let Chloe get that out there again. Just, I don't know. You guys can re-listen to the show. Thanks to all 80 of you who popped in very last minute to listen to Chloe talk for 10 minutes. We appreciate it. If anything else comes along, we'll pop on again. And yeah, we'll do this again. Again, we'll be live after Friday's game against the Minnesota Lynx, me and Chloe breaking down the Fever's game there. Hopefully nothing else wild happens, but if it does, obviously follow Chloe because she's been all over this stuff, folks. I mean, there's nobody that covers this franchise quite like Chloe. She's on the road. She's everywhere. So be sure to follow her work, pay and subscribe. And yeah, thank you guys for coming on. Amoya, you're really active. You're kind of funny, I guess.
Amoya's really active, saying this could have been a tweet. Amoya, if you think this could have been a tweet, you did not need to tune in. Those are my thoughts.
This is nice, though, because it gives Chloe a chance to unload, because my mentions have been a dumpster fire. And now that she's back, we've given it back to her. And, so this is really cathartic for Chloe. So thank you, Amoya. Hopefully we're pronouncing that right. The old Fitzroy. Okay, love the cook, Chloe. So he tips their cap, and we do as well. On that note, thank you, Chloe, for the cook. We're glad that you have a personality. Boy, if you only knew. She doesn't want as much personality as a piece of plywood. Anyway, on that note, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll talk to you again on Friday. Talk to you later. Bye.